Of all the land on this planet, every forest, every desert, every mountain range and frozen shore, one country alone holds a ninth of it. When the sun rises over its Pacific coast, its western cities are still in darkness, 11 time zones behind, waiting for the same sun. Somewhere in its frozen heart stands a village where the cold sinks to 67 degrees below zero. Where to stand still in the open air, unprotected, is to die. And beneath one of its frozen lakes sleeps a fifth of all the fresh water on the planet. If you have ever wondered how many worlds can fit inside a single border, this is the answer. The country is Russia, the largest nation that has ever existed. Reaching from the old stone cities of Europe, across the silent expanse of Asia, to the cold and restless edge of the Pacific. It is not one place. It is many worlds pressed into a single shape on the map, and most of them you have never seen and may never see again. Travel from its western capitals to its eastern shore, and you would cross nearly 6,000 miles of forest, mountain, and ice. Through a single forest so wide that a person could walk into it in spring and not reach the far side by winter. In a single hour, one corner of this land can bake in summer heat, while another lies under snow that has not melted in 1,000 years. You will stand on a lake frozen into clear glass, the oldest, deepest water on Earth. You will reach a peninsula at the far end of the map, where the ground breathes fire and bears outnumber roads. And in the frozen north, you will find a village where the cold is so complete that engines are never switched off. And the ground stays too hard to bury the dead until spring. You will cross all of it on a single railway line, the longest on Earth. Where the view outside the window becomes a new world every morning for a week. You will see summer nights when the sun refuses to set, and winter skies that burn green from one horizon to the other. By the end of this hour, you will understand why no single map and no single word can hold this place. Why those who cross it say they did not pass through one country, but through many. Before we begin, if you love discovering the hidden corners of this planet, take a moment now to subscribe to the channel and leave a like on this video. It costs you nothing, and it helps us bring you more journeys like this one. This is Russia. There is a palace in this country that no king has ever lived in. Its walls are marble, its ceilings hold golden pictures and lamps of glass, and it lies buried deep below the ground. Where millions of ordinary people walk past it every day and never stop to look up. It is not a palace at all. It is a train station. It sits beneath the capital, a city of 12 million people, more than 70 meters under the street. That is deep enough to hide a 20-floor building above your head. Step onto one of the long escalators near the center, and you go down and down. The air turns cool and still. It smells of warm dust and old stone. At the bottom, there is no dark tunnel. There is light. Bright lamps shine on smooth marble. Statues of bronze stand along the walls. The floor is worn soft by 100 years of feet. All of this was built in the 1930s, and for a reason. The government of the time wanted to give working people something that had always belonged to kings: gold, beauty, and grand halls. So they buried it underground, where the whole country would walk through it every single day. They called it a palace for the people. Around 9 million people pass through these halls now, every day. That is more than the whole population of many countries. A train slides in. The doors open. A crowd pours across the marble and is gone. Not one of them looks up. But the capital, with all its buried gold, is not the strangest city in this land. To find that one, you must travel north and west. To a city built on water, on bone, and on the will of a single man. Travel north and west to the edge of the cold Baltic Sea, and you reach a city that should not be here at all. It stands on a swamp. Its streets, its bridges, its grand stone palaces, all of it rests on soft, wet ground that should never have held a single house. So how does a city of stone stand on a marsh that swallows everything? The answer is hidden beneath it. Thousands of long wooden poles were driven deep into the mud until they struck firm earth far below. The whole city was built on top of them. Even now, after 300 years, these buried wooden legs still hold the palaces above the water. It was raised by the will of one man, Peter the Great. The emperor stood on this empty, flooded marsh and decided that a great capital would rise here, facing Europe. Workers came by the thousand to dig and build in the freezing wind. Many died of sickness and exhaustion. It was said the city was founded on their bones, and for a few weeks each summer, something stranger happens. The night never comes. The place sits so far north, near 60 degrees, that in June the sun almost never sets. For close to 19 hours a day, it hangs in the sky. When it finally dips, it brings no darkness, only a soft, glowing dusk that lasts until morning. The people here call them the White Nights. At 2 in the morning, the streets are still pale with light. The great bridges lift open to let the ships pass. Black shapes against a sky the color of pink pearl. A city of palaces, raised from mud by an emperor, where the sun forgets to leave. But this golden place sits at the western edge of the country. To cross into the other half of the world, you must travel east to a low, ancient line of mountains where one continent ends and another begins. Somewhere in the middle of this country, there is a place where you can stand with one foot in Europe and the other in Asia. There is no wall here, no sea, no great line of rock, just a low, quiet ridge of green hills, so gentle that a traveler can cross from one continent into the other and never feel the moment it happens. These are the Ural Mountains, and these soft hills hold a secret. They are among the oldest mountains on Earth. They rose around 250 to 300 million years ago, when two ancient lands drifted together and slowly crashed over millions of years. The ground buckled and pushed upward. Once, long ago, these were giants. Peaks of 5,000 or 6,000 meters, as tall and as sharp as the Himalayas stand today. But time is patient, and stone is not forever. For 250 million years, wind, rain, ice, and snow have worn them down, grain by grain. Today, the tallest of them, Mount Narodnaya, rises to less than 2,000 meters. The mountains that once touched the clouds have become hills a person can walk over without ever climbing. They run for 2,500 kilometers from the frozen Arctic shore in the north all the way down to the dry southern plains. A single thin line dividing one half of the world from the other. Stand here in the early morning. The air is cool and smells of pine and wet earth. Mist hangs low between the slopes. Old stone markers wait beside the road, one face turned west, one turned east. And beyond this ancient seam, the land changes again. the hills fall away, and there begins the largest forest the planet has ever known. Beyond the Urals, the land opens into trees, and it does not stop. This is the taiga. The Great Northern Forest. It is the largest forest on the planet, and most of it lies inside this one country. It stretches more than 5,800 kilometers from the Ural Mountains in the west all the way to the Pacific Ocean in the east. A single forest, wider than the Amazon, reaching across almost half the world. The size is hard to hold in the mind. A person could step into these trees in spring and walk east for months and still not reach the far side by winter. There are no roads here, no towns, only pine, spruce, and larch. Standing in silence, row after row, all the way to the edge of sight. It was born from ice. "10,000 years ago, when the last great glaciers melted and pulled back to the north, these hardy trees crept in behind them. The only trees tough enough to live where the ground stays frozen and winter falls to 40 degrees below zero. Walk into it, and the world goes quiet. The air smells of cold sap and wet pine. Snow softens every sound. There is no traffic, no voice, only the slow creak of branches and your own breath in the freezing air. Have you ever stood somewhere so silent that you could hear your own heartbeat? Tell us in the comments where you would go to find that silence. For all its size, this endless forest is not empty. One thread of steel runs straight through its heart, the longest railway on Earth. And for 7 days, it carries travelers across a green world that never seems to end. There is a train you can board in the morning and not step off for nearly a week. It does not cross a city or a country, it crosses a continent. This is the Trans-Siberian Railway, the longest railway line in the world. From the capital in the west, it runs 9,289 kilometers east, all the way to the shore of the Pacific Ocean. By the time the journey ends, a traveler has set their watch forward 7 hours and watched almost all of Asia pass by the window. It was an act of pure will. More than 100 years ago, a Tsar decided to bind his huge, scattered empire together with a single line of steel. Work began in 1891 and lasted 25 years. Tens of thousands of men, convicts, soldiers, and poor laborers cut the path by hand through frozen forest and swamp. Many of them died doing it. Inside the carriage, time slows down. The wheels beat a steady rhythm against the rails. Hot tea is poured from a samovar at the end of the car. Strangers share a small compartment for days and slowly become friends. And every morning, the world outside the glass has changed. Forest turns to open plain. Plain turns to distant hills. The same train, the same window, a new land every day. For all its length, one stretch was the hardest to build. The line had to bend around the edge of a vast lake. Before the track was finished, whole trains were loaded onto a ferry to cross the water. And in deep winter, rails were laid straight across the frozen surface of the lake itself. And that lake is the oldest and the deepest on Earth. There is a place in Siberia where you can walk on water, not in summer, but in the deep of winter, when the cold turns an entire sea to stone. This is Lake Baikal, and it is unlike any lake the world has ever made. Look at it on a map, and it seems almost thin, a long blue crescent, lost in the vastness of Siberia. But that thin line hides the deepest water on the planet. Its floor lies 1,642 meters down, more than a mile of black silent water falling away beneath the surface. It is also the oldest lake on Earth, around 25 million years old, alive before the Himalayas rose, alive before the first human ever walked, and in all that time, it has been quietly collecting water. Today, it holds 1/5 of all the fresh water on the surface of the planet. Pour in every one of the 5 Great Lakes of North America, and Baikal would swallow them whole. How can such a thing exist? Because it is not really a lake at all. It is a crack, a place where the earth is slowly tearing itself apart. That wound has been opening for 25 million years, and it widens a little more with every passing one. The water only fills what the ground gives up, but numbers are not why people come here. They come for the winter. When the cold sets in, the surface freezes into a sheet of glass, clear, a meter thick, strong enough to carry a truck. Step onto it, and the world turns upside down. Below your feet, blue light fades into endless black, and trapped inside the ice, frozen the instant they tried to rise, hang thousands of white bubbles of methane, still, silent, held in time. So stand there a moment. No wind, no sound, only the slow groan of the ice shifting somewhere far beneath you, a mile of the oldest water on Earth, sleeping under your boots. And yet, as cold as this place is, it is still not the coldest in this land. For that, we must travel north, to a village where the air itself can kill. Half the places you will see today may not exist in 50 years. Subscribe to witness them while they still do. The name of this village means the water that never freezes. It is one of the cruelest jokes on earth because Oymyakon is the coldest place where human beings live. Here, in the far northeast of Siberia, the cold does not just hurt, it kills. In 1933, the thermometer here fell to minus 67.7 degrees Celsius, close to minus 90 degrees Fahrenheit. Step outside without cover in that air, and you have only minutes before your body begins to fail. And yet, around 500 people call this place home. How is that even possible? The village sits in a low valley ringed by mountains. In winter, heavy cold air slides down the slopes and pools at the bottom with nowhere to escape. For 3 long months, the temperature never climbs above 0. The average winter day sits near minus 50. Life here bends around the cold. Cars are almost never switched off. Leave an engine for an hour, and it freezes solid. There are no water pipes because pipes would burst. Instead, people carry blocks of river ice indoors and melt them by the fire. The ground is frozen so hard that in the depth of winter, the dead cannot be buried until spring. Step outside, and the cold reaches in at once. Your breath turns to ice the moment it leaves your mouth. Tiny needles of frost form on your eyelashes. The air hangs still and heavy and white, while smoke rises straight up from every chimney into a pale, frozen sky. And through this frozen land runs a great river, locked under ice for half the year. Follow it north, and on its banks something almost impossible begins to rise. A long wall of stone towers standing guard over the ice. Far in the north of this country stands a city of 300,000 people, where for 40 days each winter, the sun never rises at all. This is Murmansk, the largest city on Earth above the Arctic Circle. From the 2nd of December until the 11th of January, the sun stays hidden below the horizon. There is no dawn, no true daylight, only a long blue twilight at midday, and then darkness again. When the sun at last returns on that first morning, it shows itself for just 19 minutes before sinking once more. But the long Arctic night holds a secret of its own. On clear, cold evenings, the black sky begins to move. A faint green glow appears, low on the horizon. Then it grows and ripples and spreads, curtains of green and red light, sliding and folding across the stars, as if the sky itself were breathing. These are the Northern Lights. They are born from the sun. Far away, our star throws out streams of tiny, invisible particles. They cross millions of kilometers of empty space and strike the air high above the Earth. The planet's magnetic field bends them toward the poles, and there, more than 100 kilometers up, they set the cold air glowing, green, crimson, and violet, stand beneath them, and the whole world falls silent. The snow glows faintly in the colored light. Your breath hangs frozen in the air. There is no sound but the soft crunch of ice underfoot, and above you, a sky on fire without any heat. For thousands of years, people have looked up at this and tried to answer it. And on a quiet island, far to the west, they did, raising a wooden church to rival the heavens, built without a single nail. On a small island in a northern lake stands a church that should have fallen down centuries ago. It rises taller than a 10-floor building. It carries 22 wooden domes, stacked in rising tiers toward the sky, and it was built without a single nail. This is the Church of the Transfiguration on the island of Kizhi. It was raised in the year 1714, more than 300 years ago, entirely out of wood, log by hand. How does a wooden tower, 37 meters tall, stand for 3 centuries through snow and storm and time? The secret is in the joints. Each great pine log was cut and notched so cleverly that it locked into the next, holding the whole building together with nothing but its own weight and shape. No screws, no iron, no nails, only wood and the cuts of an axe. The 22 domes are covered in thousands of thin shingles of aspen wood. In dull light, they shine like silver. Under the sun, they turn to soft gold. As the day moves, the whole church seems to change color, hour by hour. There is a story told here. The master carpenter, a man called Nestor, built it using only his axe, and when the last dome was finished, he walked to the shore and threw that axe far into the lake, so that no one could ever build its equal again. Stand on the water's edge at evening. The lake lies flat and silver. The church floats above its own reflection, silent, perfect, and still. This was the gentlest corner of the country. The last one is the wildest of all, a land at the far eastern edge, where the ground itself catches fire. The wildest place in this entire country is still ahead. If you have come this far, stay with us. At the very eastern end of the country, where the land runs out into the Pacific, lies a place so wild and so cut off that you cannot drive there. No road connects it to the rest of the country. To reach it, you must come by air or by sea. This is Kamchatka, and here, the ground itself is alive. The peninsula holds more than 160 volcanoes, and 29 of them are still active. Snow-capped cones line the horizon, some quietly steaming, some throwing ash high into the sky. The tallest, Klyuchevskaya, rises 4,750 meters, the highest active volcano in all of Asia. At almost any hour, somewhere on this land, a mountain is smoking. The fire comes from deep below. Here, two great plates of the Earth's crust grind together, and one is forced down beneath the other. As it sinks, it melts, and that molten rock pushes back up to the surface as lava, ash, and heat. That same heat feeds another wonder. In one hidden valley, the ground tears open and boiling water bursts into the cold air, geyser after geyser, the second largest field of its kind on Earth. And through all this, fire moves another kind of power. Kamchatka holds around 14,000 brown bears, the densest population anywhere on the planet. In summer, they wade into the rivers, jaws open, catching salmon by the thousand as the fish fight their way upstream. For most of the last century, no outsider was allowed to see any of this. The whole region was sealed shut, a closed military zone, until its doors finally opened in 1991. Fire and ice, bears and ash, a land at the end of the map. But even here, at the wildest edge of the world, something is quietly going wrong. The ice that has held this country together for ages is beginning to break. The coldest inhabited land on Earth is now breaking records for heat. In June 2020, in a Siberian town near the pole of cold, a place built for 60 degrees below zero, the thermometer climbed to 38 degrees Celsius. That is over 100 degrees Fahrenheit. It was the hottest temperature ever recorded anywhere in the Arctic. This was not a single strange day. The far north of this country is warming more than twice as fast as the rest of the world. And as it warms, the ground beneath it is changing in a way that may never be undone. Nearly 2/3 of this country sits on permafrost, soil that has stayed frozen solid for thousands of years. It is the hard foundation that holds everything up. Now it is beginning to thaw. Across Siberia, buildings lean and crack as the ground softens beneath them. Roads ripple and sink. In some places, the earth simply caves in, opening vast craters in the middle of the forest. And the thawing ground holds a hidden danger. Locked inside that frozen soil is methane, an ancient gas trapped for ages. As the permafrost melts, it begins to escape into the air, where it traps still more heat and melts still more ice. A slow circle that feeds itself. The land of fire and ice is tilting toward the fire. If you could stand in just one of these places, the frozen lake, the burning peninsula, the silver church, before the world changes them forever, which would you choose? Tell us in the comments. We began with a single question. How many worlds can fit inside one border? Now, having crossed them all, it is time to answer it. We have crossed a ninth of all the land on Earth, and still, it feels as though we have only touched its edges. Think back over the journey. A palace of marble buried deep beneath a city of 12 million. A capital raised from a swamp where the summer sun forgets to set. A low line of ancient hills where Europe quietly becomes Asia. A forest so wide that a person could walk into it and not come out for months. We rode a single train for nearly a week and watched the world change every morning through the glass. We stood on a mile of clear ice above the oldest water on the planet. We found a village where the air itself can kill and stone towers older than the first life on land. We watched the sky burn green over the Arctic and a wooden church float on a silver lake raised by hand without a single nail. And at the far edge of the map, we reached a land where the ground breathes fire and bears outnumber roads. All of it, the marble and the ice, the fire and the forest, the white nights and the polar dark, all of it lies inside one border, one country, one name. At the start, we asked a simple question. How many worlds can fit inside a single border? Now you have seen the answer. Not one, not 10, more than any single map or any single word could ever hold. And like all worlds, these too are fragile. The ice is thinning. The frozen ground is waking. The land we have crossed today will not look the same in 100 years, which is why it matters perhaps to see it now, clearly and without looking away. Those who travel its full length always come back saying the same thing. They did not pass through one country, they passed through many. If this journey moved you or showed you something you had never seen before, please take a moment to subscribe to the channel and leave a like on this video. Your support keeps these journeys alive and brings us closer to the next great place on Earth, waiting to be discovered. From the marble underground to the fire at the end of the world. This is Russia.